field, a base hit. They're going to wave home. Bloomquist, throw at the plate. They got him. Got him looking on the inside corner. Back at the wall. Good. Big fly for Prince Fielder. And the Brewers have a 1-0 lead in the National League Division Series.
Sports Nirvana weekend is occurring in Milwaukee. And if you're a baseball fan, the epicenter's right there at Miller Park. Yesterday it was game one, and there was over 44,000 fans in attendance for a team that drew over 3 million. They saw their hometown team take a 1-0 lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks today. It is game number 2 of the National League Division Series. Hi, everybody, from inside Miller Park. We welcome you back to postseason action here on TBS. I'm Victor Rojas, along with my partner, Joe Simpson. Yesterday, we saw the Milwaukee Brewers pitch, play some defense, and they got some key hits. And I tell you what, if you're going to win this division series, you're going to need all three.
Well, the Brewers didn't make any mistakes yesterday, Victor. They did run into a little bit of a problem in the first inning. Giovanni Gallardo had a guy at second base with only 2 outs in the inning, and Diamondbacks tried to score a guy from second. He was dead out at home plate. Great throw by Ryan Braun, but then Gallardo took over the ballgame. He was working his fastball to both sides of the plate very effectively, recorded 9 strikeouts in 8 innings. He also mixed in a real good curveball. And while he had a 2-0 lead into the 7th, he got a little insurance as Prince Fielder hit the first home run of this series, a 2-run shot. That made it 4-0, and the Brewers coasted home 4-1.
John Axford closed things out for the Milwaukee Brewers and Ron Renicky. Now we see the Arizona Diamondbacks down in this series, but don't count them out. 48 times this year. They came from behind in a ball game. What do they need to do today?
Well, they don't want to go home 0-2. They don't want to have to beat the Brewers 3 straight games to get to the NLCS. This is a must-win game for them today. They live by the sword, they die by the sword. That's what happened yesterday. A little over-aggressive in the first inning, trying to score Bloomquist from second. And then later in the game, Ian Kennedy hasn't issued an intentional pass all year. They decided not to walk Prince Fielder. That cost them 2. And today they're going to have to figure out a way to put a W on the board.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the pitching matchup. We saw 2 pretty good arms on the mound yesterday. We're going to see 2 pretty good arms today.
Excellent, guys. Both 16-game winners. Daniel Hudson did not get off to a good start in the season. He lost his first 4. He lost his last 3. But in between, he had a 3 ERA for the season. And he'll go against Zach Greinke, who did not lose a game here at home. He's got great stuff. 4 pitches that are all excellent. He's a former Cy Young Award winner in the American League.
We're just about ready for baseball in Brew City. Sit back and relax. We've got lineups and first pitch when we return. here at Miller Park. Zach Greinke has taken the field, pitching on 3 days rest. Let's go down to Sam Ryan to talk to us a little bit about pitching on 3 days rest. Sam?
Yeah, and Victor, the decision to start Zach Greinke on short rest was ultimately his. He said whenever they wanted him to go, he would be ready. But he knew going into Wednesday's start, his regular start of the final season, that this was a possibility. And he pitched efficiently, throwing just 74 pitches. He said he felt crisp in that start. And keep in mind, that start on Wednesday was also coming on short rest. So basically, it was just a lighter bullpen for Zach Greinke this week as Victor, he makes his first appearance in the postseason.
He has been spectacular here at home, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by AutoTrader.com. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, a 94-68 record. Willie Bloomquist leading things off at shortstop. Aaron Hill is the second baseman. Justin Upton in right field. Miguel Montero, the cleanup hitter, he's doing the catching. Paul Goldschmidt gets a start at first base instead of Lyle Overville, who had pretty good numbers against Zach Greinke. Chris Young is in center. Ryan Roberts back at third base. He had the home run last night. Gordon Pella is back at left field, and the starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks batting ninth is Daniel Hudson, taking on the very youngster. Well, he's still getting old. He's a veteran, a wily veteran now, 27 years of age, from Apopka, Florida, Zach Greinke.
6'2", 190, just finishing his 7th year. He went 16-6 during the regular season. Greinke and Gallardo combined to go 28-3 here at Miller Park. Gallardo picked up another win for them yesterday. Greinke will try to do the same today. Cy Young Award winner in the American League at Kansas City in 2009. Throws hard, has a nice short curve and a changeup.
Willie Bloomquist on the very first pitch takes his strike. Remember yesterday, very first pitch to start off this NLDS, he had a single in the center field, ended up going 2 for 4. The 266 on the year. As he swings through the high fastball, it's quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
His fastball anywhere from 92 to 96. Couple looking speeds on his curveball. Also has a slider that he mixes in too with an excellent changeup. Great command of those 2 pitches, the slider and change.
0-2, he went along with a breaking pitch. Lucroy fires on the first, and the Cole gets strike down, and there's out number 1.
Here's the rest of the defense for the Brewers today. Same outfield, Braun, Morgan, and Hart from left to right. On the infield, again, it's Hairston at third base. Betancourt short, right side is weak, center fielder. Just made the play behind the plate.
So 1 out, nobody on for Aaron Hill. Hill had an 0 for 3 game, including a walk. Coming over to trade with the Toronto Blue Jays. It's the fastball that just misses inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. It is Hill and John McDonald coming over for the Blue Jays, and it's for Kelly Johnson. And he's kind of revitalized himself. There it is. He hits one down the left field line. This one chasing Braun toward the corner, and that one is foul. Just foul. James Hoy, the left field umpire, making the call. So Hill has to head back to home plate.
Boy, was that close. No argument from Matt Williams, the third base coach. Chasing the foul pole.
Well, that's a fair ball.
That was a fair ball. That hit to the right side of the stripe. That's a fair ball.
Bad call.
My goodness.
James Hoy standing in the sunshine. We talked about it yesterday. Having to look toward the shade, but you wouldn't think that that would be of any issues whatsoever. It didn't go out of the ballpark. And this call by Hoy, robbing Aaron Hill of a double as he lines this one into center field. So he'll settle for a single instead of that 2-base hit. So man on with 1 out. Justin Upton coming to the plate.
A nice comeback by Aaron Hill after the double. Take another look, another angle with the baseball hitting just to the right of the stripe and just below the 344 mark. Ryan Braun knew it was fair. He turned and fired it back into the infield. I'm not sure what Matt Williams saw if he was watching as the third base coach for the D-backs.
Well, from our vantage point, the corners here at Miller Park are blind spots for us, so we have to rely on the down-the-line umpires, and it's not a reviewable call on Major League Baseball rules. There's a look at our angle from the booth.
And you can see that bright sunlight Still streaming across from the third baseline into right center field too. And umpire standing right in that sunlight looking back.
0-1 pitch. Upton fouls it back. It's an 0-2 count. Upton who had 1 for 4 game yesterday.
Very aggressive start here by the Diamondbacks hitters. That's not surprising. Their first ball fastball hitters. One of the things that Kirk Gibson told us before the game, though, was that he needed more contact today. They struck out 10 times yesterday, and he wanted a little better approach from some of his guys and put the ball in play more.
Hill with a pretty good lead at first. That's upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Diamondbacks winning the West by 8 games over the San Francisco Giants, with 25-9 from August 23rd through the rest of the season. Winning a total of 94 games. Down the dirt. Nice job by Luke Troy, smothering that baseball, keeping Hill at first base. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Zach Greinke strikes out a lot of guys. 201 in 176 innings. Get some help here from Luke Troy, as Victor pointed out. That ball bounced a foot, 2 feet out in front of home plate. Nice stop by the catcher.
Those are the ones that you hope hit your body and stay in front of you.
Yeah.
Looped in the air. Prince fielded. Backing up on it. Makes a catch, 2 outs. So Upton's retired. That'll bring up Miguel Montero.
And he is probably the epitome of the first pitch fastball hitter for the Diamondbacks. A .397 average on the first pitch with 3 homers during the season. 40% of the time he swings at the first pitch. That's the highest percentage in the National League this year.
Ended up going 0 for 4 yesterday. Good numbers in his career against Zach Greinke. 4 for 6 with a home run. Had 18 home runs on the year. 86 runs batted in as he takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Not too happy about the call. Talking to Alfonso Marquez about it, who also was hearing about it from the dugout.
I'm sure at the end of that little brief conversation, as long as we get the same calls, it's all good. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Not only was Zach Greinke 11-0 record-wise at home, he made 15 starts here at Miller Park, and the Brewers won all 15 of those games.
Greinke winning the last 4 home decisions with the Kansas City Royals at the end of last year. So a running streak. 15 consecutive home victories for him. A 3.13 earned run average. And there's no question that even though they had a conversation on last Wednesday, in that game in which Greinke started against the Pittsburgh Pirates, about him kind of limiting himself and getting ready for a potential start here, those numbers have to come into play. I mean, it's absolutely dominating numbers at home this year. And out on the road, just a 5-6 record and a 4.70 ERA.
Well, Ron Renicky has said that about today's start that he doesn't have to go 9 today. As good as their bullpen is, he said at the end of 6, if he's given us 6 innings, we'll evaluate that. If he can go 7, all the better. But we've got a good bullpen, and we're not afraid to go to him early on if he tires.
Giovanni Gallardo going 8 innings yesterday. Oxford closing things out. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. Luke Troy tags out Montero. 2 strikeouts in the inning as we head to the bottom of the first. With the Brewers coming up for scoreless.
Arizona Diamondbacks brought to you by Auto Trader, or Milwaukee Brewers, AutoTrader.com. Corey Hart leading things off. He is in right field. Nigel Morgan is in center. Ryan Braun is in left field. Rick Fielder with a home run yesterday as the cleanup hitter at first base. Ricky Weeks at second base. It's Jerry Heston Jr. at third. Junior Heston back forward. The shortstop, Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate. Zach Greinke is the pitcher, and he will bat tonight. Taking on a 24-year-old Virginia Beach, Virginia native by the name of Daniel Hudson.
24 years old, 6'3", 230.
Corey Hart swinging first pitch and picks up a base hit to left field. So the Brewers get their leadoff man on board. Hart went 0 for 4 yesterday, picks up a knock to start the Brewers after the first.
First inning is a problem inning for Daniel Hudson. He's allowed 22 earned runs in the first, most of any inning. And in his last 8 starts, he's allowed at least 1 runner in the first inning. And 6 of his last 10, he's allowed at least 1 run in the first inning. He's got to get through this first and even the second inning. And then it's kind of clear sailing. Is much tougher after that.
Morgan swinging first pitch, fouls one back. No balls and a strike. And the Brewers center fielder went 0 for 3 yesterday, was hit by a pitch. A couple of hit batters. In yesterday's game, Weeks also hit by a pitch from Ian Kennedy.
Andrew Morgan admitted to being a little antsy. He said he was geeked up yesterday. Should be more relaxed today.
Tony Plush, the entertainer, was geeked up.
That's what he said.
Impossible. How does that happen? A man of that much experience.
I don't know. I think he was Tony Hush yesterday.
He was Tony Hush yesterday. They love him here in Milwaukee. Picked up on it back in March of 27. Cutter Dykstra. Washington Nationals shows bunt, takes down low. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
And this is not a surprise. This is something that Ron Renicky does a lot. He'll bunt a lot in the first inning. He'll move runners over from second base with less than 2 outs with a bunt. They were second in the league in sacrifice bunts.
Roberts weighing on the grass at third base. Offers at it. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hudson with a good fastball. He's mid-90s with his fastball. His out pitch is slider to right-handers and usually a changeup down and away to lefties. But he throws hard and will certainly not be afraid to pitch in. He's not at all shy about going inside.
This one, big foul on the third base side. Now to play, so the count remains at 1-2. Hudson a 16-game winner for the D-backs. Total of 222 innings of work, about 217 hits, struck out 169, and had an ERA of 3.49 for the season. Another 1-2. Morgan strikes out swinging. There's out number 1. There's that fastball you're talking about on the inside part of the plate.
At 95. And then you see Montero. Montero's giving him a high target. Wanted it to be up and in, and they really did tie him up. Couldn't get his hands through.
Brings up Ryan Braun, the left fielder. 3-hit game yesterday. Couple of singles, a double, 2 runs scored, and an outfield assist in the first inning. 332 during the regular season. Most of the strike on the inside corner. 33 home runs, 111 runs batted in for Braun. Second in average, Jose Reyes in the National League, 4th in RBIs, 2nd in runs scored, and 1st in slugging.
He put on a pretty good exhibition yesterday. Didn't really tattoo any of his hits, but he fought off some pitches, went the other way for a double.
Missed inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. That double you point out, a big hit for the Brewers, not just for Ryan Braun, because it extended that inning and allowed Fielder to come up and Kirk Gibson to make that decision to allow Kennedy to face Fielder, but it was back-to-back inning. Kennedy got in trouble in the 6th and 7th. Just could not get that 3rd out. But credit Braun, good piece of hitting, shooting it down the right field line. Listen to Rand, it's 2 balls and a strike.
You have to change the eye angle on Ryan Braun, but first and foremost, you've got to establish inside. Like we said yesterday, doesn't really like the ball in on his hands too much, likes to extend his arms, but you've got to make him conscious of that if you want to be successful. Otherwise, they get 3 more hits tonight.
Short lead for Hart over at first base. And Braun lifts this one out to deep left center field. Hit well. This one's got a chance. Gone! Big fly for Ryan Braun, and the Brewers strike first. They lead it 2-0.
Got his arms extended. Left one right in the heart of the plate. Just talked about how that's the danger zone. Full extension, and he crushed that one.
First career playoff home run for Ryan Braun. And the Brewers strike first, as they did in yesterday's game, where they run in the 4th inning. And the struggle for Daniel Hudson in the 1st inning continue into the postseason. One of the pitches down low.
Once the barrel of the bat, point of contact well out in front, able to get his arms extended. Great bat speed. Got a pitch to hit and crushed it.
Off-speed pitch is in for a strike, 2-1. Fielder had a 2-for-4 game yesterday. Double and a home run, 2 runs batted in. 38 bombs on the year with 120 runs batted in.
And a mini shift on for him.
Three balls and a strike.
See Bloomquist right out behind second base, and Robert shifted over right about the shortstop position.
Fielder fouls it off the left. A full count. That's one of the things that Kirk Gibson was talking to us about too, as far as that sun peeking through the windows here along that first base line. It's at times more difficult as a defender with that sunlight directly in your eyes, trying to pick up the baseball coming from the shadows.
Especially for Ryan Roberts right now, staring with the sun right in his face.
There's a 3-2. Fielder strikes out swinging, 2 outs. Second strikeout of the inning.
And a nice comeback for Hudson. One of the other parts of the scouting report on him is that sometimes he can be his own worst enemy. He can get so fired up and angry at himself that he can't really pitch up to his ability. So we'll keep an eye on that. After giving up the 2-run homer in the first inning, one of the things he's going to have to do is maintain his composure and get after it. And he made a good pitch there to Fielder for the strikeout.
As Ricky Weeks steps to the plate, the second baseman. What a 0-for-2 game. Walked in a hit by pitch. With 269 on the season, with 20 home runs and 49 runs batted in. Missed a considerable amount of time with a severely sprained right ankle. 39 games missed for Weeks. An off-speed pitch missing high. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Hudson got his start against the Brewers back on July the 4th. Went 4 innings in that one. 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. Diamondbacks taking the season series 4 games to 3 as Weeks shoots a foul into the seats. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Daniel Hudson only gave up 17 home runs in the regular season, but 8 of those came in his last 8 starts, and he's given up 1 here in the first inning this afternoon.
Foul back. This one laying in the seats behind home plate. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Ryan Braun with a 2-run shot here in the first, putting the Brewers up 2-0. Brewers, a team that led the National League in home runs, 185 long runs. 5th in runs scored. 2-2. Outside a full count. Talking with Gibson before the game, we address the issues that Hudson has had in the first inning and the struggles that he has had with that first inning. Mentioning at times with Charles Nagy, the pitching coach, in the bullpen right before coming in, facing some hitters, at least standing in the bullpen. But it's got to be a mentality issue at that point, getting over that hump. The 3-2 is lifted in the air. Bloomquist shading his eyes. He's there, makes the catch. The inning comes to an end, but Milwaukee strikes first. Ryan Braun's first career postseason home run, and after one, Brewers lead it 2-0. The score of 2-0, courtesy of a Ryan Braun home run. Here at the top of the second, it'll be Paul Goldschmidt leading things off against Zach Greinke. Had a couple of strikeouts in the first. Also gave up a base hit to Aaron Hill. Goldschmidt swinging first pitch, fouls one off to the right. And it's an 0-1 count. Goldschmidt got to the big leagues for the first time this year. Played in 48 games for the D-backs. Hit .250, 8 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Had 9 doubles and a triple. Takes outside, evens a count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
But it was his work in Double-A at Mobile that earned him the USA Today Minor League Player of the Year in professional baseball. He's huge, 6'3", 245. Hit 30 homers in Double-A with 94 RBIs. Hit .306. And Kirk Gibson playing a hunch today, putting him in there.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So it's something just to change the lineup up and just a gut feel to put him in there.
This one driven out to right center field, hit well. Corey Hart's going back, so is Morgan, gone. Big fly for Paul Goldschmidt, and the gamble pays off as the D-backs get on the board. It's 2-1 Brewers.
You know, you just got to follow your gut instinct sometimes. Man, oh man, did he pop that the other way. And that will get a lot of momentum back in that Diamondbacks dugout after the homer by Braun in the first. This guy sets up to pretty much be a dead pull hitter. But he crunched that one the other way.
Yeah, Lyle Overbay got the start yesterday at first base, a left-handed batter. As Chris Young takes outside, Overbay in his career against Greinke, 8 for 23 with 2 home runs. So we thought it was kind of odd that Overbay was not in the lineup, but it pays dividends right from the get-go. Young lifts this one out toward right center field. Nyjer Morgan calls off Hart, and there is out number 1. Daniel Hudson likes what he sees. Diamondbacks obviously a team that likes to hit the long ball, and when they hit the long ball, they are usually successful. Even though Ryan Roberts hit one yesterday in a 4-1 loss. This is a team, the D-backs, that are 76-32 during the regular season when they hit a home run. But if they don't, they're in trouble. As we pointed out, 48 times this year, tops in Major League Baseball, they have come from behind to pick up a win.
As I said before, they live by the sword. They sometimes die by the sword. They thrive on home runs and at times aggressive to over-aggressive base running, just trying to take extra bases, and as they did yesterday, try to steal a run here and there.
2-1 Milwaukee here in the second. If you're looking for the Yankees and Tigers, it's over on TNT. That game in the bottom of the 7th. As this one's hit well to deep right center field. Morgan giving chase, not going to get there. One hops off the fence. Hart plays the carom, and Ryan Roberts is in at second with a 1-out double. 25 doubles on the year for Roberts. 19 home runs. Picks up an extra base hit, and a man in scoring position.
Maybe a sign of things to come with these right-handed hitters willing to go the other way on Greinke. Another hard fastball to the outer part of the plate, and this time it's Ryan Roberts who goes the other way and almost hit one out.
Diamondbacks only had 2 reach second base yesterday. Bloomquist in the first inning, and Roberts with that home run in the 8th. They should have had 3 already today. Aaron Hill's quote-unquote double down the line was called foul, as this one's lined over to first. They fire to second base. They don't get the double play. Roberts alertly getting back to the bag. Heads up play though by Betancourt, cutting across to try to get that double play.
Well, not only that, but this infield much maligned for all the errors they made this year. Watch how Prince Fielder charges to get to this ball quickly so that he might have a chance at that double play to Betancourt. Instead of just standing at first base flat-footed, he was coming to get the baseball. Made it close at second.
So man in scoring position for the pitcher Daniel Hudson. And usually you would scoff in this scenario, but Hudson incredibly good as far as swinging the bat. Swings through the fastball there, and it's an 0-1 count. He had 277 to lead all major league hitters in average. Had a home run, 14 runs batted in, but it's what he has done with men in scoring position. 7 for 18 this year.
14 RBIs.
Breaking pitch, caught the inside corner, and it is 0-2.
He's not going to pitch him like any ordinary pitcher. Not with the good fastball and then that slow over-the-top hook.
18 for 65 with a 678 OPS. He's got Roberts standing at second, representing the tying run. Here's the 0-2 in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And they've got another guy on their staff, Micah Owings, who's working out of the bullpen, that is another guy who was a position player and pitcher in college and can swing it.
Just to finish off on that Hill quote-unquote double down the line, it was ruled foul by the left field umpire James Hoy. Hill ended up with a single upstairs. It is 2-2. Replays clearly showing that ball hitting the wall in fair territory. Goldschmidt with a home run leading off the second inning. Cut the deficit in half. Roberts with a 1-out double stands at second. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Nope, he got a piece of it. Tried to get him with that breaking pitch.
Daniel Hudson has gone deep this year. July 17th off Ted Lilly in Arizona. This was his home run for the year. And he got a little silent treatment when he got back to the dugout, too.
Looked foul on the first base line and out of play. Alan Trammell, the bench coach, Kirk Gibson, the skipper, Don Baylor, the hitting coach. A lot of veterans, big name veterans on that coaching staff. Charles Nagy, the pitching coach, we mentioned him earlier. Two. Nice job by Luque picking that.
Another good at bat by the pitcher, too, not swinging at anything out of the zone, waiting for a pitch he can handle. 5th round pick, Daniel Hudson in 08 by the White Sox out of Old Dominion. Diamondbacks are among their pitching staff the most RBIs in all of baseball.
Two foul back with a fastball. 94 miles per hour. 8-pitch at bat here for Daniel Hudson. Former Little League teammate of Justin Upton, the Virginia Diamond Builders. Maybe got some hitting pointers as this one's fouled off the eye.
About this at bat, though, I mean, Zach Greinke has the potential time run in scoring position. He knows it's the pitcher up there, but he also knows he's a good hitter. But he's probably kind of thinking to himself, really? I got to go this deep into an at bat to get this guy out. He's learning that Hudson is no soft touch when it comes to getting it out.
10th pitch of the at-bat. This is a broken bat bounce to the left side. Hairston to his left. And they'll retire Hudson to end the inning. But Goldschmidt cuts the deficit in half with his first playoff home run. In the bottom second, 2-1 Milwaukee. Series coverage on TBS is brought to you in HD by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Bottom of the second, Milwaukee leading the Diamondbacks by the score of 2-1. A couple of long balls already. This one Braun with a 2-run shot in the first. Paul Goldschmidt with a solo shot leading off the second for the Snakes.
Got a good shot of that sun beating in to the stadium through that glass above the upper deck down the first base line. And it's so bright that it forced Gerardo Parra, the left fielder, to have to come in and get shades. Yeah, we're playing indoors.
Jerry Hairston, the third baseman, looks at a strike. Hairston, the choice by Ron Renicky to get the start once again here this afternoon. After going 1 for 2, had a sac fly in yesterday's game. But he also had the option of going with Casey McGee in his career, 5 for 5 against Hudson. Hairston shoots one down the right field line. This one slicing it. It is foul. Ron Kolka, the right field umpire, making the call. No balls and 2 strikes. Renicky saying before the game that he just liked the approach that Hairston had. He talked to McGee before Friday during the workout and said, "This is what I'm thinking. I like your numbers going into Sunday's game, but we'll wait and see to make a final decision after Saturday's game."
Yes, it was a hard decision to make, too.
Foul back.
One of the things that makes Daniel Hudson effective and makes him so tough and makes him a 16-game winner this year is he throws across his body a little bit and that 3-quarter delivery. He's hard to pick up.
Harrison shoots one back up the middle. It's a leadoff base hit. Second straight inning, and it's the Brewers have gotten their leadoff man out. Going to bring up the shortstop, Yuniesky Betancourt. Mentioned earlier, obviously the 5th round pick by the Chicago White Sox. That was in 2008. A little big league time with Chicago. Pitched in the Futures game last season. He was traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Along with David Holmberg, left-handed pitcher, in exchange for Edwin Jackson.
Went 7-1 after the Diamondbacks got him with a 2.45 ERA.
Betancourt takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Kirk Gibson felt like he and Kennedy only made 2 mistakes yesterday. One was, of course, the home run to Fielder, but earlier in the ball game he let the pitch out over the plate to Betancourt that turned into a triple. He's another guy that likes the ball away from him.
Bounces this one over to third. Roberts feeds Hill for 1. The relay to first in time. A double play. Clears the bases for Jonathan Lucroy.
Well, after the first inning and the 2-out homer, Hudson needed a good second inning, and that certainly helps.
Lucroy had a 1 for 4 game yesterday. Picked up an RBI. A jab shot single to left field. That was in the 6th inning after the Betancourt triple. At that point made it 2-0 Milwaukee. And 265 on the year with 12 home runs and 59 runs batted in. So 1 ball, 1 strike count. Both teams with 3 hits already. Milwaukee with 2 in the first. 1 here in the second. This one's just off the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike. Arizona with a single in the first inning, then a home run and a double in the second. Chopper to the left side toward the hole. think the dive by Ryan Roberts may have screened Willie Bloomquist. And Lucroy reaches on what will more than likely be a base hit.
Yeah, I think Roberts did a real good job of screening his shortstop from getting a good look at this. That's why the hop kind of ate him up. He didn't get a good read on it.
And just by the reaction of Bloomquist, that's exactly what happened there. And that's a situation, too. When you've got the catcher at the plate, you kind of have to know who's at the plate. You don't have to dive, especially if you have a shortstop in position to make that play.
Yeah, a little over-aggressive effort there by Ryan Roberts.
So Greinke will bat here with 2 outs with a man at first. 143 average this year, 1 home run, 1 RBI. A home run is second in his career. His first, ironically enough, came against the Diamondbacks June 10th, 2005 in Arizona. Off Russ Ortiz as he swings and misses him with no balls and 2 strikes. It was bittersweet because he picked up his first major league home run, but also gave up 11 earned runs at 4 1/3.
He was a highly thought of infielder in high school, from what I'm told. Pretty good hitter.
First round pick by Kansas City in 2002. He strikes out swinging here, and that will end the inning. Hudson picks up his 3rd strikeout. 2 complete. Milwaukee still on top. Sports Geeks. TBS just got a whole lot smarter. Don't miss the Big Bang Theory, all new to TBS Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night starting October 18th. Got your DVR set?
Got it set. I thought we got a whole lot smarter before that by bringing you in to do this postseason.
Top of the 3rd. Thank you very much. 2-1 Milwaukee. Top of the order. Willie Bloomquist facing Greinke, delivers an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Bloomquist struck out swinging in the first. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Greinke. No walks, 3 hits allowed. Bloomquist fouls it back. An 0-2 count. Mentioned while Greinke was at the plate, first round, 6th overall pick by Kansas City in 2002. Got to the point his talents took him to a Cy Young in 2009. A 16-8 record, a 2.16 ERA that year for Kansas City, a career high 242 strikeouts, but a long road for him between getting called up to the big leagues and earning a Cy Young award. Having to deal with some personal issues in 2006. Bloomquist chops this one up the first base line. Greinke will field it and apply the tag. One of the issues that he had to deal with was personal anxiety. Let's go to Matt Weiner in our studios in Atlanta.
All right, Victor, thank you very much. Time for a Bank of America game break. Let's get you updated on what's happening in the Bronx. Headed to the bottom of the 8th there. The Tigers have a 4-0 lead. Miguel Cabrera, the hitting star for Detroit so far, 3 hits on the day, including a 2-run homer. He's driven in 3, and the Tigers are just 6 outs away from tying up this series at a game apiece.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Max Scherzer, the former Diamondback, having a very good start against the Yankees. A little dribbler that rolls foul. And it's no balls and a strike on Aaron Hill. But as we were talking about, this is the ball that Hill hit in his first plate appearance. Clearly hitting fair.
Clearly.
But the left field umpire, James Hoy, not making the call there. Hill on the next pitch got a single into center field. This one pulled foul. It's an 0-2 count.
And as we could see in that replay, the left field wall at the time was not in bright sunshine like it is right now. And we were saying that maybe the sunlight had something to do with it because the umpire was standing in the sun. But that baseball clearly into the green of the padding to the right of the foul line.
Missing down and away. 1-2. It would have put a man in scoring position with 1 out in the first inning, but Hill reached on the base hit. Upton popped out. Montero struck out. Another off-speed pitch. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. But back to Zach Greinke in 2006, having to leave the Kansas City Royals. Did so in spring training, having to deal with personal anxiety issues or anxiety disorder. Some of the Royals system thought at that point that he was actually thinking about quitting baseball. When he eventually came back, said, I can't live without baseball. As Hill flips one down the right field line, and that is going to fall in for a base hit. It checks up on hard. But Aaron Hill has his second hit. We'll go down to Sam Ryan talking a little bit more about this personal anxiety issue.
Yeah, they've been well publicized, Victor, and he thought his baseball career was over at a point when he left the Royals in 2006. He said, I thought there was only about a 10% chance that I would come back, but he was properly diagnosed and then given the proper medication, which he has said makes him tired at times, but able to pitch again at a high level, winning the AL Cy Young Award in 2009. And you know what? The fact that he's able to speak about this publicly really says a lot about his courage, doesn't it?
It really does, and there have been, thanks Sam, a number of guys over the last 5 to 10 years, it seems, that have come out even more so. Khalil Green, former San Diego Padre,
right.
St. Louis Cardinal. Dontrell Willis has had some issues as well. Joey Votto left for stress-related issues in Cincinnati Reds. So it seems like more and more, individuals at the high level. It's not just Major League Baseball. Across professional sports, you get to a certain level, and some guys just don't like dealing with not necessarily the outside world, but that stage or that platform that they're put on.
He'll accommodate the press when he has to for days before he pitches, or as was the case yesterday for the press conference that he attended.
Upton lifts this one in the air down the right field line. Cutting across is Weeks, and can't make the play. Well, as I watch Weeks make that play, and that's usually the second baseman's ball unless the right fielder's playing shallow. We mentioned that he missed some time with that severely sprained ankle. Gingerly cutting across and just could not get there.
Yeah, it's his left ankle and still can't really extend his foot. Heavily taped and wrapped, and it just did land foul. But back to Greinke in his social anxiety. He does the press conference because he's asked to and expected to, but he doesn't like it. He's not comfortable with it.
0-2 pitch, got him swinging. 2 outs. Zach, as they say, is a meat and potatoes guy. He doesn't like the fluff, doesn't like the chit chat, doesn't like the small talk. As he blows the fastball right by Upton.
He made a start against the Diamondbacks on July 21st. Did not pitch well. Got beat 4-0. He did go 7 innings. Gave up 2 homers for the only runs he allowed. And the guys that hit homers that night were Upton and Montero.
Off-speed pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. He took the loss. And it was Ian Kennedy who picked up the victory for the Diamondbacks in that game. Montero, a strikeout victim himself. That ended the first inning. So he's 0 for 1. This is the 5th career start for Greinke against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, 0-2 with a 6+ ERA. You saw, though, on that little slow roller hit by Bloomquist how quick he is off the mound. He is an outstanding defensive player. And the Brewers think that he should win the Gold Glove from the pitcher's position. He's so quick off the mound that at times the Brewers will actually adjust their bunting defense to allow for his quickness and his ability to cover bunts.
One 0 pitch lifted in the air toward center field. Nyjer Morgan going back, still going back, and he'll make the catch. Long fly ball out as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Milwaukee still leading it 2-1. With Chevrolet. When you go to ChevyBaseball.com and upload a picture of your favorite youth ball player, you could win hundreds of MLB prizes as part of Chevrolet's Centennial Celebration. Even tickets to this year's postseason. It's the bottom of the 3rd, top of the order. Beautiful sight here in Milwaukee. A busy sports weekend. They ran the marathon. Didn't quite get there for the start, so I decided to blow it off. But apparently it was nice. Corey Hart leads things off. and takes the strike.
I was told you got there for the finish. It's just where you started that was a problem.
Yeah, well, it is what it is sometimes. Hart had a base hit his first time up and scored a run, so he's 1 for 1. At Wisconsin, took care of Nebraska last night. Packers playing the marathon. NLDS. I mean, this is. And we've got great weather. How about that?
Yeah.
Kind of surprised the roof is closed. Upstairs with a fastball, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. When we got here today before the game, the roof was wide open. A gorgeous day, not even a cloud in the sky. Decided to close it. Boy, didn't miss by much. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now you can turn his two-seamer over a little bit, make it sink down and into right-handers. Tried to do it there.
Little bouncer to short. Bloomquist comes charging in. Throws out Corey Hart. There's out number 1. Let's go to Sam Ryan, who's with a Hall of Famer.
Yep, Robin Yount, honored to be joined by him. Your entire 20-year career playing here with the Brewers. You threw at the first pitch today, and what an ovation from the crowd. What type of memories does this bring back, Robin?
Well, it brings back great memories. You know, I played 20 years here, like you said, and only experienced 1 World Series, and I think this team is as good a team as I've seen since probably our '82 team, and I would love to see another World Series here in Milwaukee, as would everyone here.
The '82 team, the only Brewers team to go to the World Series. What makes it possible for this team?
Well, you know, a lot of things got to go right. You know, we certainly have the talent to do it, but even when you have the talent, you still got to go out there and play. You know, I don't know. If things have to fall your way, we've got the pitching to carry us. You have to get some breaks here and there along the way, and you have to also think of the old cliche, take them one at a time. That's what you got to do. And if you take anybody lightly, you'll be out before you know it.
I talked about your playing career, but as a coach, you served some time on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
So how difficult is this for you?
It's not that difficult yet. You know, 20 years versus 2.5. My heart is still here in Milwaukee. I would have to say that the Diamondbacks would be my second choice.
Okay, thanks a lot, Robin. Robin Yount.
My pleasure.
Guys.
Thanks a lot, Sam. Very politically correct.
Yeah.
Smart man. Full count on Nyjer Morgan.
And boy, did they go crazy here when he took the field to throw out that first pitch.
Morgan, a strikeout victim in the first. There's a 3-2. Slices this one foul into the seats. Count remains full. After the first pitch, Del Swain gives him the baseball, and then he does his best Rob Dibble impersonation by firing it into the stands without ripping off his shirt.
They still love him here.
He was smooth at short and in center. Swing and a miss. Down goes Morgan. 2 outs.
Well, as they said about Daniel Hudson, as the scouting report said, if you don't get him early, you may not get him. This is a guy, despite his first inning problems, has pitched at least 6 innings or more in 28 of his 33 starts.
He has 4 strikeouts here this afternoon. No walks. 4 hits allowed, one of which left the building, and that was in the first inning off the bat of this guy at the plate, Ryan Braun. Takes that pitch upstairs. A 2-run shot that put the Brewers up 2-0 at that point. Paul Goldschmidt cut that deficit in half with a leadoff home run himself for the D-backs in the second. Ball and a strike. This one lined to right. There's a base hit. Upton trying to cut it off. He can. It goes all the way to the wall. Braun with good speed easily gets into second with a 2-out double. 5th hit of the series already.
Fastball up and out over the plate. Not a whole lot unlike the one that he hit to dead center for the homer. But that had a lot on it. That first hop skips right by Upton and goes to the wall. And Braun and Fielder already with more hits than they had in that entire postseason in 08 combined.
Interesting, sorry Joe, is the fact that we have not seen Hudson with as live a fastball as he has pitch Braun inside like Kennedy did, meaning in off the plate, moving his feet as Fielder steps in, swings the first pitch, lines one into center field. There's a base hit. Braun's going to come around to score, and the Brewers lead is now 3-1.
To follow up on what you said, Victor, here's another mistake. Off-speed pitch, but it's out away from him. And yesterday, he took an off-speed pitch down and away and beat the shift for a double. So these two guys, the two guys that in almost every scouting report will tell you can't let Braun and Fielder beat you, they're getting it done.
6 hits by the Brewers as we play with 2 outs here in the third. Brewers through 1 game and 2 2/3 innings, 7 for 14 with 2 outs. As Weeks takes a pitch outside. So both Kennedy and Hudson struggling to finish off that inning. Daniel had the first 2 outs on the ground out by Hart, the strikeout of Morgan, but then the double by Braun, and Fielder bringing him home with an RBI single. Weeks popped out his first time, so he's 0 for 1, but ahead of the count here. 2 balls and no strikes.
This guy is so strong. Uses his hands beautifully. Pretty much just a hand swinger, but generates tremendous bat speed.
Had a pitch to drive there. Fouls it back. It's 2-1.
About a week ago, he hit the longest home run ever hit in this ballpark. Off Russ Ohlendorf, off the upper panes of the Stadium Club, which is really equivalent to the third deck, the facing of the third deck here. They're estimated at 475 feet.
See how happy Prince was. He had 3 home runs in that game. That pitch is inside. I think he was more excited about that than his 1,200 feet of home runs.
Yeah.
Weeks, a former first-round pick, 2nd overall at a Southern University. His brother Jamal getting to the big leagues with the A's this year. 3-1, pulled, just foul, wide of the bag at third. A full count.
They couldn't get him out in college. He was a Golden Spikes Award winner, emblematic of the Player of the Year while he was at Southern. One year he hit .495. The next year he had an off year. He only hit in the 470s.
It really hurt his draft stock.
Yeah.
To 2nd overall. Fielder will be off with the pitch with 2 outs and a full count. Here it is, out to center field, hit well. Going back on it is Chris Young. Gets turned around, not going to get it. Short hops off the fence. Fielder will score. Weeks is trying to go to third. He is in there with an RBI triple.
There aren't too many times that you can hit the ball in the air over the head of Chris Young. He tracks everything down. But this ball was hit so hard. Fastball down and away, and he went down and got it. And turned it into a triple.
3 consecutive 2-out hits for Milwaukee here in the third. A double, a single, and now a triple. 8 for 12 with 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in, and 6 runs scored in the first 2 games of the series.
They had big stars next to their names in the scouting reports in terms of how you got to pitch them, how you pitch around them. Can't let them beat you. But they are doing a number on the D-backs.
Ball gets away briefly from Montero, but it stays close enough where Weeks cannot advance. 1 ball, no strikes on Jerry Hairston. Weeks, who had 2 triples on the year, legs it out here in the third. Here's the 1-0. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Hairston with a base hit leading off the second, was erased on a double play ball hit by Betancourt.
The trips by Nagy to the mound, Victor, also very calculated to try to get Hudson back on his game, to try to get him to refocus. He just made that trip, but it's now 3-0.
Hairston taking, looks at a strike, 3 balls and 1 strike.
He too made a start against Milwaukee this year on July 4th and gave up 6 runs in 4 innings, 8 hits that day, but got no decision.
Hairston lifts one out to left field. Parra going back on this one. Hairston just getting underneath it, and Parra makes the catch to end the inning. The Brewers get 2 runs on 3 straight 2-out hits. Maybe it was the Hall of Famer in beast mode. We're through 3. Brewers on top.
Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Milwaukee's up 4-1 as we start this fourth inning. Zach Greinke delivering a strike on Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt, Young, and Roberts. 5, 6, and 7 for the Snakes. The fastball missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Goldschmidt 1 for 1, had a home run leading off the second inning. Getting to start at first base. Breaking pitch, a little bit high. It's 2-1.
He played at Texas State University and was all conference in college, but wasn't a high draft pick. He didn't go until the 8th round of the 2009 draft. And then all he did was go to rookie ball and hit .334 with 18 homers.
Yeah, hit 8 home runs this year. His first 2, August 2nd, off Tim Lincecum. Then August 17th off Cliff Lee.
That's a good way to break in.
Yeah, that's one way of announcing your presence with authority. Swinging a miss. He goes down here chasing the pitch, and there's out number 1. Let's go to Matt Weiner in Atlanta.
All right, Victor, let's get you an update on what's happening on TNT in this Bank of America game break. 8th inning, Curtis Granderson off Joaquin Benoit to make it 4-1. Tigers answered with a run in the top half of the ninth. Moments ago, Nick Swisher with a solo shot. It's now 5-2 with the Yankees down to their final 3 outs.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Chris Young fouls off the first pitch. Jose Valverde pitching for the Tigers in a non-save situation, giving up that home run to Swisher. That series shifts to Detroit tomorrow.
They're in the same boat as the Diamondbacks. They need a win. Doesn't matter if it's a safe situation or not. They've got their closer in there to try to finish it so that they don't have to go back to Detroit knowing they've got to win 3 in a row against the Yankees.
Young looks at the fastball missing down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Justin Verlander and CC Sabathia at Comerica Park tomorrow. This one hit well out toward left center field. Morgan giving chase. A lot of long fly balls today. This one is gone. Big fly for Chris Young. A solo shot, and it's 4-2 Milwaukee. Second home run allowed by Greinke. Both solo shots.
You know, yesterday, Victor, I didn't think the ball was carrying much at all for whatever reason. Today it is jumping. Fastball right down the middle. Good swing by Chris Young. Just put the barrel of the bat on it. And they get another run back by way of the solo shot.
Young had 20 home runs on the year and 71 runs batted in. This one pulled to the left side. Betancourt from deep in the hole fires it over the head of fielder. And Roberts will reach, and he'll be awarded second base on a throwing error. The old combination platter, base hit and an error.
But all he could do was just try to jump and airmail it over there, but in the process, Prince Fielder's not anywhere near tall enough to haul that one in at 5'11". And again, this infield, the regular infield of McGee, Betancourt, Weeks, and Fielder, 71 errors for those 4.
Man in scoring position. Gerardo Parra looks at a strike. Parra lined out to Fielder in the seconds. He's 0 for 1. This one fouled off to the left. No balls, 2 strikes. Roberts, by the way, a 2-hit game now with a double and a single.
Well, that's 3 straight hits for him, dating back to that 426-foot homer he hit yesterday in his last at bat.
0-2 count with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Greinke with 4 punch outs. tried to climb the ladder on par. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Mentioned earlier how the Brewers tops in the National League at home runs with 185. Diamondbacks weren't that far behind. They were 4th in the National League, 172 home runs. This one's up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3rd in slugging as a team at 413. But they are susceptible to the punch out. They will strike out.
They did improve in that area. They didn't strike out as much, but they also traded away Mark Reynolds, who was part of the strikeout issue in the years previous.
But Roberts thought about taking off for third base, trying to time Zach Greinke on that last one. Betancourt not covering him. Had some happy feet. I think he regrets not taking off on that one, although that pitch was up and away. It would have been a pretty good pitch for Lucroy with a left-handed batter up to fire down to third.
Yeah, they're not even anywhere near holding him. Diamondbacks have been putting some good swings on the fastball. He's left a couple in the middle of the plate, and they've been hit hard.
Roberts takes off, and it was a spin move, and they've got it hung up between second and third. Hairston will tag out Roberts. There's out number 2.
Great time just to check him. There wasn't a pickoff move on, but after Roberts committed, then the rundown is on. And virtually every player on the diamond for the Brewers was within about 50 feet of the bag at second base. All the outfielders came in to back up. That was great timing on the part of Zach Greinke to guess. And he guessed right.
On a 3-2 count also. Here's the pitch. Parra strikes out swinging. And the inning comes to an end. Diamondbacks do get a run as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 4-2 Brewers.
gotten very interesting in the Tigers-Yankees game. Tigers up 5-1 to start the ninth, but Jose Valverde has given up a solo homer to Nick Swisher, and Jorge Posada's first career postseason triple, so nobody out, man on third, with Valverde still throwing, and he's just walked the batter first and third. We'll keep you updated.
Sounds like Jose Valverde imploding at Yankee Stadium. Bencore swings first pitch here to start the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's no balls and a strike.
And a little bit of momentum at least swings back to Daniel Hudson. He's got to feel good about the home runs that he's had to back him up. Now he's got to throw some zeros up there and make good pitches.
Facing the bottom third of the order, Betancourt, Lucroy, and Greinke, as this one's lifted in the air on the left side of the infield. Bloomquist is under it. One away.
Good pitch in, jammed him, popped him up. He's got to stay inside.
MasterCard invites you to eat, drink, and be generous this fall in support of cancer research. Visit standuptocancer.org/MasterCard for more details. So 1 out, nobody on for the catcher, Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy had a base hit in the second, so he's 1 for 1. Second hit of the series. Takes that pitch inside. And the only real stress-free inning that Hudson has had was the second, when he faced 4 batters, gave up a couple of hits, but got a double play ball. And a strikeout. He has struck out 4, walked nobody, but he has allowed 7 hits. Pulled foul.
Nice play by the ball girl.
The ball and 2 strikes. Way inside. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's the way he needs to pitch to Braun. Make him move his feet, get him off the plate a little bit. Nobody's really done that so far in the series, and he's tearing up the Diamondbacks.
Foul back over the screen. Brewers with 2 in the first inning, courtesy of a Ryan Braun home run. And 2 in the bottom of the third. RBI single by Prince Fielder, an RBI triple by Ricky Weeks. Diamondbacks getting their 2 runs via the long ball. Solo shots by Goldschmidt and Young in the second and fourth innings, respectively. Swing and a miss. Down goes Lucroy. 2 outs. Strikeout number 5 now for Hudson.
Not that that was such a great pitch, but it was the couple of pitches before that made him aware of inside, that had him open up a little too soon. Bat drags through the strike zone, and he's behind on that pitch up and away. If you make a hitter believe that you're going to pitch him inside and bust him in there, they've got to respect that and at least be thinking about it after they get behind in the count.
Greinke swinging first pitch, comes up empty. It's no balls and a strike. He's 0 for 1, struck out swinging to end the second inning. Greinke, of course, acquired in the offseason deal with the Kansas City Royals. Mentioned earlier how much he likes to hit when he got to spring training. Had a conversation with Ron Renicky about coming to the team. One of the first things that Zach asked Ron, as a hitter, do you need me to hit home runs or do you want me to hit just singles? And he picks up the single with 2 outs here in the fourth. Parra goes into a slide and keeps Greinke at first base with a 2-out knock.
I love that conversation. Just tell me what you want me to do. Got on top of that high fastball, hit it hard.
And again, another 2-out hit by the Milwaukee Brewers. An abbreviated monster move by Zach Greinke. Back to the top of the order now, and Corey Hart, the right fielder. 1 for 2 game for him. That pitch is way inside. Brewers now with 16 hits in this series, 10 of which have come with 2 outs.
And he's already about to make his 75th pitch of this game.
Hart hits one right back to the mound. Flips it underhand to Goldschmidt. The inning comes to an end. 4 complete. Milwaukee still up by 2. Milwaukee up by the score of 4-2. Zach Greinke finishing up his warm-up pitches. 5 strikeouts for him, no walks, 6 hits allowed. Roberts also in scoring position.
Yeah, made a base running blunder.
He certainly did. Daniel Hudson, the pitcher, leads things off against Greinke. The first pitch fastball's in for a strike. Hudson 0 for 1. He grounded out to third base in the second inning. Swing and a miss. Had him completely fooled on the off speed. It's 0-2.
15 out of 18 so far. First pitch strikes for Greinke.
And he strikes out Hudson for the first out. Moments ago, we had a chance to speak with Brewers skipper Ron Roenicke. Brewers manager Ron Roenicke kind enough to join us, and I got to ask you about your team. And we just mentioned a stat here: 16 hits in this series, 10 of which have come with 2 outs for you guys.
We're really battling offensively. You know, Hudson's throwing that good fastball because he's got the good changeup and cutter, and we're giving him some tough at-bats, which is what we need to do to try to keep people on base and keep a little pressure on him.
Ron, coming into this series, everybody knew that the Diamondbacks would have to figure out some way to contend with Braun and Fielder. They haven't found an answer yet.
Well, I hope they don't. These guys are great hitters. There's not too many spots you can go to when you're throwing to them, and you make one mistake and they don't seem to miss it very often.
Our thanks to Ron Renicky for joining us between innings as Willie Bloomquist rolls it foul. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Braun with 2 hits in this game, 3 hits yesterday. Prince had 2 hits yesterday, 1 today. 1-1 pitch. This one bounced over to short. Betancourt comes charging in. 2 outs.
Greinke's thrown some of the best curveballs he's thrown all day in this inning, and that was a beauty.
Two up and 2 down as Aaron Hill, the second baseman, steps to the plate. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. He and Ryan Roberts with a multi-hit game today. Roberts with a double and an infield single. One ball, no strikes. Greinke pitching on 3 days rest, showing no signs of fatigue. Good life on the fastball, mixing in his off-speed pitches.
Well, the 5th has been his curveball inning.
Has given up 2 home runs, but both solo shots. That pitch missed inside. It's 2-1.
That sunshine you're seeing now on the face of Aaron Hill and at home plate is actually a reflection. Sun coming in through the windows in right field and bouncing off the stadium club in left.
So what you're saying is that the sun will find you at some point.
At some point here.
Breaking pitch down low, a full count. Justin Upton on deck. Here's a 3-2. Base hit up the middle. Aaron Hill with a 3-hit game keeps the inning alive for Upton. Let's go down to Sam Ryan with Upton coming to the plate. Upton family certainly busy this offseason, or this postseason, I should say, Sam.
Yeah, you know what? Growing up as well, Justin Upton was part of an elite group of baseball players hailing from Virginia. His brother BJ was an AAU teammate of David Wright, Ryan Zimmerman in Virginia, Mark Reynolds, and Mike Kadire. Now, Justin was a little too young, so he would serve as their bat boy at times. And I spoke with the Mets third baseman David Wright this morning, who said Justin was just too young to play with us, but sometimes he would practice. And even though he was 3 or 4 years younger, he was still one of the best players on the field. That's some high compliments from David Wright. But just think about the talent on that team.
No question about it. That Hampton Roads area in Virginia, just unbelievable amount of talent that's come from there.
Incredible having all those guys on one team.
1-0 pitch just off the plate. 2-0.
Now coming into this start for Greinke, he had only given up 1 home run to a right-handed batter in his last 11 starts, and that was Omar Infante, who took him deep. Today he's given up 2 home runs, both right-handed hitters, Goldschmidt and Chris Young, and Upton had taken him deep earlier this year.
.2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. It's 2-1. Upton with 1 hit in the series, and it was yesterday. Justin had a base hit at his first at bat of the game yesterday. Hitless since. He's got Hill over at first base, and Aaron goes diving back in. In New York, the Tigers have closed out the Yankees. Jose Valverde made it interesting, giving up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th. And the Tigers even that ALDS up at 1 game apiece heading to Comerica Park tomorrow. Three balls and 1 strike.
I'm sure Jim Leyland was cool as a cucumber, though, there in the
Oh,
bottom
no
of the
doubt.
9th. Yankees had a couple of guys on, too, when the game ended.
That was a 3-pack 9th.
Yeah, it was.
3-1 pitch. Upton rips one to deep left field, and this game is going to be tied. A 2-run shot off the bat of Justin Upton knots this game up at 4.
That one wasn't off the facing of the stadium club like the one we showed you from Ricky Weeks about a week ago, but it wasn't far off. Great extension, big, long swing, and he knew it, and so did everybody else in this ballpark.
Greinke's allowed 3 home runs here this afternoon. 2 solo shots and 1 2-run shot down.
And all right-handed hitters.
Here's Miguel Montero. 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a fly ball to center. Swing and a miss on the big curveball. Justin, who connected for 31 home runs this year, picks up his Diamondbacks teammates. D-backs battling back. And they get a nice 2-out hit for themselves as Montero swings and misses, and it's 1-2.
He only threw 74 pitches in that start Wednesday against the Pirates. Declared himself ready to pitch today. He's at 85 pitches this afternoon, and he's given up 3 homers.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Montero. The inning comes to an end, but not before Justin Upton with 1 swing of the bat picks up a 2-run home run as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. This game is tied up at 4. By Liberty Mutual Insurance. Take a look at the game that is following ours. The Cardinals and the Phillies. Chris Carpenter also pitching on 3 days rest going up against Cliff Lee.
Two big-time starting pitchers will hook it up. Cardinals got off to a good start against the Phillies last night, but couldn't hold on. Phillies got their hitting shoes going. Long balls, especially the one from Howard, got that game turned around.
Yep. Looked like Loesch just started to fall in love with that changeup. Left one up. Howard's one swing of the bat changed that game. 1-0 pitch to Morgan, lifted out toward right center field. Upton coming in and to his right makes the catch. Niger is the first out here in the 5th, with this game tied up at 4. Double barrel action going for the Diamondbacks in their bullpen. Joe Patterson, the left-hander, Brad Ziegler, the right-hander.
Saw Ziegler yesterday, but just for a third of an inning. So now let's see if they change this pattern on Ryan Braun and try to pitch him inside more.
Fastball in off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Braun with a 2-run shot in the first inning, had a double and a run scored in the 3rd. Five for 6 in the series. Takes a strike and it's 1-1.
Try to cutter there. The front door cutter. The dugout for the Diamondbacks wants to know where it was, and Marquez, the home plate umpire, tells him it was inside.
Come back inside, challenge him with a fastball, and it's 2-2.
Trying to stay in there. That one tailing back in on his hands too.
Full count. That's what you have to do with Braun, though.
You have to. You got to make him aware you're going to pitch in. You got to move him off the plate a little bit, and then hope then that you can go down and away or throw a breaking ball that he'll chase.
Fielder on deck. Weeks after him. 3-2. Jammed him. And he fights it off foul. Reset and do it again.
Including the 2008 NLDS against the Phillies. And then 2011. Quite a difference.
Another 3-2 on its way. Fastball got him looking on the inside corner. 2 outs.
We'll see how this works for the rest of this series, but the Diamondbacks may have just learned something that they hadn't been doing before, and that was looked like a 2-seamer that even dropped down a little more on, caused it to run more, and pitch track showed that it was in off the plate, but they got the call.
Alfonso Marquez with the call. Fielder looks at a strike. Fielder, a 1-for-2 game, had a strikeout in the first inning, an RBI single with 2 outs in the 3rd. Hudson now with 6 punch outs in the game, no walks. 8 hits allowed, both teams with 8 hits. Hudson's 1-1 pitch, big rip by Fielder, fouls it straight back. The best in the game brought to you by the Audi A8. Most home runs, since 2007.
Yeah, and both guys hit home runs yesterday. Howard for the Phillies, Fielder here for the Brew Crew.
Pops this one up. Ryan Roberts on the left side of the infield with the call, and Hudson has picked up his first 1-2-3. A shutdown inning, 5 complete, still tied at 4.
Interviews and exclusive post-game analysis from Tom Verducci and the staff of award-winning SI Riders at si.com/MLB. Top of the 6th inning. New pitcher on the mound for Milwaukee. It's the 41-year-old veteran Takashi Sato.
A guy who battled some injuries this year, a recurring hamstring injury that bothered him last year with Atlanta and kept him on the shelf for 73 games.
Pitched in 30 ball games this year, 4-2 record, a 2.03 ERA. He's been with the Dodgers, was there for 3 years, one with the Red Sox, one with the Braves last year, and signing a 1-year deal in the offseason with the Brewers. Goldschmidt takes downstairs, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Zach Greinke on 3 days rest goes 5 innings, throws 86 pitches. Strikes out 7, walks nobody, but gives up 4 runs all earned on 8 hits. 3 of which were home runs. Goldschmidt rolls this one over to third. Hairston keeps charging in, plays the short hop, and there's out number 1.
Ron Renicky was very pleased yesterday with the defensive work of Jerry Hairston Jr., and there's another good example of it. Charging hard to smother that short hop.
The 3 home runs allowed by Greinke in this game, the most he's allowed in a game this year. Chris Young had one of those 3 home runs today, back in the 4th, a solo shot, a 1-for-2 game for the Diamondbacks center fielder. Brewers with 3 infielders on the left side, with Young at the plate, a pull hitter.
Saito, a good, heavy, hard sinker and a slider. A career ERA of 2.19 coming into this season.
This one jab shot out toward right center field. Morgan coming on, tries to make the backhanded catch, can't get it. It trickles away from him. Young will stop at second. It is a double for Chris Young and a man in scoring position with 1 out here in the 6th. Almost looked as if Morgan was kind of caught in between as to whether to dive or stay on his feet.
And it just had it glance off of his glove enough to have it bounce away from Hart. And with Young's speed, they're fortunate that didn't turn into a triple.
Fifth extra base hit for the Diamondbacks today. The potential go-ahead runner in scoring position for Ryan Roberts, who's had a couple of hits.
Well, he has, but he's also had a really over-aggressive day defensively. Kind of screened Bloomquist on a ground ball that was hit between them, and then picked off at second base when he was trying to perhaps do a little too much on a 3-2 count. With nobody at first, he wasn't running on the play except on his own.
Little nubber back to the mound. Boy, that ball had a lot of spin on it. The plays at first, 2 away.
You're right, Victor. That almost spun right by Takashi. It changed directions twice. Cued right off the end of the bat. And you can see the spin there as it bounced toward first base.
Little Super Bowl action. Young advances to third with 2 outs now. Gerardo Parra at the plate. 0 for 2 today, 0 for 5 in a series. Today's lined up and struck out.
And a discussion out on the mound about the pitcher being on deck. Now, of course, there's no guarantees that Hudson's going to hit for himself, even if they pitch around Parra. But as we've been telling you, Hudson, a pretty good hitting pitcher if they decide to leave him in the game and Parra reaches. Hudson
threw just 13 pitches in the 5th. He's at 88 on the ball game. Ziegler still playing catch. Breaking pitch outside.
That'll get your attention, especially the guys on the right side of the infield. Weeks with the bad ankle. Prince Fielder not that fleet of foot. And Takashi Saito at 41. That might be a pretty good foot race for somebody to try to beat Parra to the bag to get that go-ahead run in.
Just blew the fastball right by him. Evens the count at a ball and a strike.
Wants a ground ball. That good sinker.
High fastball.
Boy, got him to chase. Way up out of the zone.
One, two. Trying to elevate again with a fastball. Parra fouling it back.
Yeah, trying to just go right up that proverbial ladder to see if he'll keep chasing it. Likes the ball up but out away from him, but not that high up. More belt high.
Another 1-2 on its way. Parra strikes out, swinging, and just blew the fastball right by him. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still tied at 4. Here at Miller Park, we are tied at 4 apiece on an absolutely gorgeous day, gorgeous weekend here in Milwaukee. A 4-4 tie. Justin Upton tying it at 4 with a 2-run shot to the top of the 5th inning. Daniel Hudson back out on the bump at a 1-2-3 fifth. This is Ricky Weeks, jammed him here. Hits a soft ground ball to short. Bloomquist will retire Weeks, and there's out number 1. 5 in a row retired by Hudson since the base hit by Greinke in the 4th. And catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball Division Series on TBS. Join the postseason debate at MLBFancake.com and follow the action on Twitter with the hashtag postseason. Legends are born in October. One out, nobody on for Jerry Hairston, getting to start at third base. 1 for 2 game for Hairston. A base hit in the second, a fly ball to left in the third. Looks at a strike. And Hudson, since that 3rd inning, when he gave up 3 consecutive 2-out hits to Braun, Fielder, and Weeks, has settled down nicely.
Pitching inside more, finding his marks on his off-speed pitch like that one, just missed. And has some more confidence thanks to being tied. He's been given a lot of runs to work with this year. An average of 4.65 runs per start.
Missed off the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike. See the 3 pitches there. Pretty good location. That's where you want to keep it down in the zone. That's the one thing that hurt Zach Greinke today. Hairston lines one down a left field line. That's going to go for extra bases. Parra picks it up, fires it back in. Hairston in with a double. His 2nd hit of this game, 3rd of the series.
We'll give Ron Renicky credit for putting him in the lineup yesterday and today. Big sacrifice fly yesterday to drive in a run. He said he was just going to stay with the hot hand. And that hot hand was Hairston over McGee. Looked like 1 too many change-ups there from Hudson, and he left it up.
Hairston, 35 years of age, getting a chance to play in the postseason. Been around a long time. Got to the big leagues with the Orioles back in '98. Played with the Cubs, the Rangers, the Reds, the Yankees, the Padres, and now the Brewers and Kirk Gibson. Looks like he's going to come out and make a move, perhaps. With Betancourt coming to the plate. That's going to be it for Daniel Hudson. He'll depart with 1 out. A man at second base representing the go-ahead run. A pitching change as we are tied at 4. Avocados from Mexico.
And it was a big one. Justin Upton deep into the 2nd level of seats here at Miller Park. I got Daniel Hudson back even.
The Brewers have a man in scoring position in Jerry Hairston with 1 out here in the 6th inning. That's Brad Ziegler. 2nd outing for him in this series. He went 1/3 of an inning yesterday as he got the last out in the 7th. Facing Betancourt, It's the off-speed pitch outside.
He is a ground ball specialist, as you can see. Throws from down under. Sinker slider guy. Hard to elevate it unless he makes a mistake and gets the ball up.
Spin move, and they call the balk. Bruce Streckman, the second base umpire, calling a balk.
It was that pause that got him. Second baseman Aaron Hill asked Bruce Streckman what the call was for, and then nodded his head. It was the pause before he turned.
So a man at third, infield in for the D-backs now. A 1-ball, no strike count on Bencourt. He's 0 for 2 today with a double play ball and a pop-up to short. Outfield shallow. Bencourt has a little pop in his bat. 13 home runs this year. Had the triple yesterday.
That's a move that Ziegler's probably made 1,000,000 times in his career and couldn't quite get turned around to make that what's called a balk move back to second base. That spin move, but got hung up and couldn't get turned around.
The move really made that much more difficult for a guy that is a submariner, like Ziegler, trying to sell it. His second career balk. 2-0 way outside with that frisbee slider. It's 3 balls and no strikes with Lucroy on deck.
And a good stop here by Montero to go out and help Ziegler get regrouped. Certainly rattled by that balk that put the go-ahead run at third base.
Ziegler acquired from the Oakland Athletics prior to the July 31st non-waiver trade deadline. Brandon Allen, the first baseman, going from Arizona to Oakland. There's a 3-0. Outside, he walked it. First walk of the game. Comes with 1 out here in the 6th inning. And Lucroy will come up with runners at the corners.
If it was going to happen, this is the part of the order that you'd like to see it happen if you're a Diamondbacks fan, and that's because Ziegler is a ground ball pitcher. And you got a catcher at the plate with catcher speed. If you can get the ground ball, you got a good chance to get a double play and get out of the inning.
Lucroy today 1 for 2. Had a base hit in the second. Struck out of the 4th. Hairston at third. Bencourt at first. The safety squeezes on. Pushes it to first. They throw home. Not in time. Hairston scores. The ball goes to the backstop. Lucroy is going to advance to second. And the Brewers are back on top 5-4.
Second in the league in bunts. They bunt again. Great execution by Lucroy, and Ziegler trying to do too much on the play where he had no play at the plate. And threw it away, and now he's in more trouble.
Pitching coach Charles Nagy out on the mound. Mark Kotsay's come out to the on-deck circle. And will be pitch hitting here in the pitcher's spot. It is a sacrifice for Lucroy. Picks up an RBI. And an error on Brad Ziegler.
First pitch. Pinch hitting wizard. He'll get after something if it's in the zone from Ziegler.
Kotsay saw action yesterday as a pinch hitter. Rolled into a fielder's choice. Intentional walk coming. They're going to want to face Corey Hart, the right-handed batter, the leadoff man. This will be the second walk issued by Ziegler. Walk Betancourt, the first batter he faced. Ball 3.
And throws all these pitches over the top. What a turn of events after the balk that did appear to really rattle Brad Ziegler.
So Corey Hart steps to the plate with a bases loaded. 1 out, 1 run in. Milwaukee leading it 5-4. Over 44,000 once again here at Miller Park in the first pitch. Line to the center field, a base hit. Betancourt will score. Lucre stopped at third. And it's a 6-4 Brewers lead.
Another first pitch base hit. Sinker that wasn't low enough, and Corey Hart certainly looking for something up there. Probably went up with his pitching wedge knowing he was going to be something low, and lined it right back through the box.
Bases still loaded, still 1 out, infield in. Nigel Morgan swings, lines one to the alley in right center. A base hit. Lucroy scores. Kotze comes in to score. A 2 RBI single by Tony Plush makes it 8-4 Milwaukee.
Another sinker that was in the zone, kind of flattened out like the one to Hart. And another first pitch, base hit for 2 RBIs. And now, here come the big boys.
That was the first hit that Morgan has had in this series. 0 for 6. A 2 RBI single as Ryan Braun steps in. 8th man to bat in the inning here in the 6th for Milwaukee. Braun 2 for 3 with a home run, a double and a strikeout. The breaking pitch missing inside.
I mean, when they're whacking every first pitch, the fans don't even have a chance to catch their breath.
Jerry Hairston started it with a double down the left field line. Here's the 1-0. Braun lines one into center field, another hit. Hart scores. 9-4 Brewers.
Third RBI of the day for Ryan Braun.
The Brewers have hung a 5 spot here in the 6th inning. They lead it 9-4 with a pitching change. Here in the 6th inning, 5 runs in here in this inning. Prince Fielder coming up with 2 men on. A big inning for Milwaukee.
Seemed harmless enough. A one-out double by Hairston, but then when Ziegler came in and balked him to third, it's like the wheels came off. He couldn't make pitches, fell behind. Of course, a perfectly executed squeeze play too by the Brewers, and then 3 straight hits back through the middle against him have really blown this inning up.
2 walks in the inning by Ziegler. Joe Patterson takes over. Lefty-lefty matchup with Niger Morgan standing at second. Braun at first. A spin move. Morgan not going anywhere. You see the numbers for Patterson. 62 games this year. A 2.91 ERA. Sweeping breaking pitch, misses outside.
And that's what he'll feature primarily to left-handed hitters, that slow sweeping breaking ball, and then once in a while, if he does get ahead, he might run one in on their hands. I don't know if he'll do that to Prince Fielder. More than likely he'll just try to stay away from him.
Fielder today 1 for 3. Had an RBI single and a run scored in the 3rd. Breaking ball. This one catches the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. That wasn't one of those pitches that was down in the zone.
Mark Attanasio enjoying the 5-run 6th inning. The owner of the team. His father sang the national anthem before Game 1 yesterday.
1-1 pitch. Lays off. 2 balls and a strike.
Prince Fielder's a smart hitter. He knows what he's going to get from Patterson. He knows the scouting report. And he's ahead in the count now. He may just sit on another one of those inside breaking balls for a chance to again lift and separate like he loves to do.
Two-one. Swing and a miss. Took just enough off of it. 2-2.
That just took all the wind right out of this stadium too.
This one off the end of the bat foul. Still the 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 5-run 6th inning. Brewers batting around. Weak started this inning against Daniel Hudson, grounding out. And when Hudson went to the well, one too many times with the off-speed pitch. Hairston pulled it down the line. He was done. Hudson that was. And then Ziegler, a little bit of a meltdown here in the 6th. Swing and a miss. Down goes Fielder. There's out number 2.
Nothing but breaking balls, and that snaps a string of 7 straight Brewers that had reached. Good job by Patterson.
The out is recorded. Kirk Gibson back out of the dugout. That's going to be it. Patterson gets the out that he needed. We're still in the 6th inning with another pitching change, and Milwaukee up 9-4.
Run, sixth inning in progress, highlighted really by the balk here by Ziegler. Then the squeeze bunt. Ziegler got greedy. Instead of taking the out, he throws it away. And then the route was on in this inning. 7 straight batters reached, 3 straight singles up the middle by Hart, Morgan, and then by Braun. 5 runs across. It's 9-4 Brewers. The inning's not over yet.
Yeah, 4 hits by Milwaukee, 2 big walks by Ziegler. Regular walk to Betancourt, then the intentional walk to Katze, and then obviously Corey Hart followed suit with that RBI single. Ryan Shaw comes on for Kirk Gibson and the Diamondbacks with 2 on and 2 outs to face Ricky Weeks. Weeks started this inning with a ground out. A 1-for-3 game, had an RBI triple to straightaway center field. Now he's back in the 3rd inning. Fastball missing outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Shaw pitched yesterday, went 1 inning, issued a walk. It was to the first batter that he faced, but he retired the next 3 guys. Caught the outside corner to even a count.
He's got a big arm, throws hard. Just a matter of how sharp he is with his command on any given day. If he's hitting his spots, he's mighty tough.
Product of Long Beach State. 33 games this year. 1-0 record at 2.54 earned run average. He's got Nigel Morgan at second. Ryan Braun at first. There's a chopper towards second base. Aaron Hill takes it to the bag. They force out Braun. The inning comes to an end. A 5-spot for the Brewers. 6 complete. They lead it 9-4. Is brought to you by the Nissan Versa Sedan. Innovation upsized. Innovation for all.
And this Brewers bullpen has gotten progressively better all year long. And no wonder Ron Renicky has a lot of trust in the guys, especially at the end of his bullpen with what they did in September. 1.14 ERA. And LaTroy Hawkins is the next out of the pen to succeed Takashi Saito.
Facing Sean Burroughs, the pinch hitter. Strike to 7. Hawkins' first pitch is in for a strike. Bunch of Brewers relievers overall of the season, 23 and 23. An ERA of 3.30. Hawkins, the veteran. Pretty good season once again. 2.42 earned run average in 52 games. That's up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Missed the beginning of the season, missed about the first 3 weeks of the year because of shoulder surgery from the offseason. But a 15-year veteran, and Hawkins still throws hard.
Detroit getting to the big leagues at 95 with the Minnesota Twins. 3rd season with Milwaukee. Burroughs lines it foul into the seats, and it's 1-2 as he was late on that fastball.
Fastball pretty straight from Hawkins, but again, he's in the low, sometimes mid-90s.
A starter the early part of his career, first 5 years. But a bullpen guy since 2000 as Burroughs rolls it foul. Still at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
How about that quick pitch? Tried to catch Burroughs napping. He's been coming set with his glove back over on his right hip, kind of hiding the baseball. But he's been known to do that to hitters where instead he didn't really come set. There it is again.
And he got him swinging. Down goes Burroughs. There's out number 1.
He's already picking his leg up as he's raising his glove up. At other times he'll come set.
Back to the top of the order now to Willie Bloomquist. With 1 out, nobody on. Bloomquist is 0 for 3. Hawkins taking over for Saito. Went 1 inning, had 1 strikeout, gave up a base hit. Bloomquist looks at a strike. Well, it was great to see the Diamondbacks battle back using the long ball. 3 home runs against Zach Greinke, chasing him after 5 innings. Hudson settled down. Had a 1-2-3 5th inning, but everything blew up for him in the bottom of the 6th inning. They'll have to battle their way back once again. Otherwise, they'll find themselves in a deep hole, even though they're going back home for a Tuesday game 3.
Well, back home, I think it was Saturday night against the Dodgers in extra innings. They gave up 5 runs in the top of the 11th and came back and got 6 in the bottom half of the inning.
There's no question they're capable of it with the long ball. Getting guys on base ahead of them has been the issue in this series. Of the 3 home runs, 2 were solo shots. Paul Goldschmidt had one leading off the 2nd. Chris Young had a solo shot of the 4th, and it was Upton's 2-run shot of the 5th that tied the game up at 4.
Those were all off Greinke.
Bloomquist flips one foul down the right field line and out of play. But still no balls and 2 strikes.
Bottom of the 6th inning was like a hitting frenzy after that balk with this crowd going crazy. And every guy walking up there on the first pitch and lining a base hit.
The balk, the squeeze, and the 2 walks. 0-2 again. Bloomquist lays off. Lucroy wants some help. There's Joe West, the crew chief. So he did not go. Arizona with 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They've left 4 guys on base. The Brewers 9 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. They've stranded 5. Another foul back. Tigers defeated the Yankees earlier today, 5-3, even though a scary 9th inning for Detroit. Even that series up at a game apiece. Cardinals trying to even things up after our game against Philadelphia Phillies. As Carpenter going up against Cliff Lee.
This is one of those at bats that Kirk Gibson talked about before the game that he was hoping to see from his guys after they struck out a total of 10 times last night. They've struck out 9 times tonight. He wanted to see a little better approach, more contact, and certainly Bloomquist giving Hawkins a battle here.
Quick safe call there by Joe. It's 2-2.
Saving its energy. He'll be behind the plate Tuesday night.
8-pitch at bat for Bloomquist. Foul off to the right. Talking about the 5-run bottom of the 6th inning, the Brewers falling 1 run shy of the biggest inning in their postseason history. 6 runs in the 7th inning against the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 4 of the 1982 series.
Just a great at bat. And he's done a good job of fighting off pitches that in some cases aren't strikes. He's just shortening up his swing, trying to figure out a way to get on base for the heart of the order. And he's trying to get to a position where Hawkins will give him a little better pitch to hit. Good at bat.
The 11th pitch of the at-bat. Fouled off the wall. Bloomquist, a charitable sort, offering souvenirs to all the Brewers fans here.
Yeah, they may send Joe West in to rub up some more baseballs. When do you think was the last time Joe rubbed up a baseball?
Oh, let's see, about 1979, perhaps. Some Delaware river mud. I've had that task. Not fun. A full count. There they are.
Just take a little of the shine off.
Not just game balls either. Guys in the bullpen have to have the baseballs rubbed up for them.
That bucket looked like it was getting a little low, though, after Bloomquist at bat.
Hey, Walker.
How about that?
13-pitch at-bat results in a walk. Let's go to our studio in Atlanta, Matt Weiner.
Great matchup on it.
Yes. Here's Aaron Hill. Breaking pitch down low. Luke Roy is going to go out and talk things over with Hawkins. And then that plate appearance by Willie Bloomquist sometimes messes with the pitcher down. You figure with a veteran like LaTroy out there that the mindset shouldn't change a whole lot, especially with a 5-run lead here in the 7th inning. Three-hit game for Aaron Hill, 3 singles and a run scored. Pretty good lead for Bloomquist at first. Takes off. The pitch is high, no throw, and it's a stolen base.
Again, this Diamondbacks club will take advantage of every opportunity, no matter the score, no matter the count, no matter how many outs. Bloomquist stole this one without a throw.
Diamondbacks second in the National League in stolen bases this year with 133. Now man in scoring position in a 2-0 count here on Hill. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach.
Sorry, Victor. Hill will be taken here just to try to get another guy on base in front of Upton.
Takes a strike, 3-1.
And we'll see if he's given the green light. 3-1. Probably is, but he's going to shrink his strike zone to a real small size. In an effort not to swing at a bad pitch.
3-1 inside. He walked him. Back-to-back walks issued by Hawkins after he struck out Burrows to start this 7th inning.
Justin Upton, last at bat, they tried to go up, they go low, they got him to swing and miss at a breaking ball, went upstairs again, and then made a big mistake. Up, down, and then suddenly they went in between, and he hit one a mile.
Meeting on the mound, Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, comes out.
He's been given a lot of credit by these pitchers for the work he's done this year. He's made things very simple, both for the pitchers and the catcher, in terms of how he wants them to work, and everything focuses on the fastball, trying to locate fastballs and then work off that. Highly respected pitching coach in baseball. Ron Renicky does not often make pitching changes in the middle of an inning. He doesn't like to do that. He'd rather have his relievers start with a fresh inning. But we'll see how this one progresses.
So here's Upton with Bloomquist standing at second, Hill over at first base. The Diamondbacks down by 5, 1 out. Justin with that home run, his second hit of the series. A 2-run shot. Takes a strike.
Upton's never had a hit off of him. 0 for 6.
Couple of looks back to second. That pitch caught the corner, and it's 0-2.
Pitch track says it was a pretty perfect pitch. Looked like a cutter that moved a little bit to the outside part.
Upton's ready, as is Hawkins. Here's the 0-2. Fastball. Boy, that didn't miss by much.
That was close.
Pretty good sequence right there, too.
Best fastball he's thrown, too, at 94. He was down. But again, pretty straight, too.
Upton having problems digging that right cleat into the back part of the batter's box. Outfield straight away for Milwaukee.
It worked once for Greinke. You just wanted to see if it worked for him.
We've had a clinic on the spin move today. What to do and what not to do.
Exactly.
Here's the 1-2. Upton fouls it back. Hawkins may have gotten away with one there.
So I just wanted to see on the replay was where this pitch was. He threw a slider and it was a hanger right out over the plate. As John Smoltz would say, a cement mixer.
This one shot to right field, chasing Corey Hart back. Still going back near the wall, reaches up, makes the catch. Runners do not tag, 2 outs. Hart got a good jump on that one off the bat.
Corey Hart's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still got good range, and he's sure-handed. And certainly in his home ballpark, he's got a real good feel for where he was and how much room he had. Made a nice play there.
So Miguel Montero will come up now with 2 outs, 2 on for the D-backs. Hawkins with a strikeout, 2 walks in this 7th inning. Montero hitless in the series, 0 for 7. A couple of strikeouts today.
They know the same things we know, Victor, about his propensity to hit and swing on the first pitch, and that average, it's almost 400 on the first pitch. They haven't given him anything close to a hittable pitch on the first pitch tonight.
1-0 is fouled off to the left. Brewers starting to get action going into the bullpen. Francisco Rodriguez is up. And what an ovation the Brewers faithful gave him yesterday as he was introduced onto the foul line. He settled into that 8th inning role.
Yeah, it's a little early for him.
But Troy Hawkins has thrown 30 pitches so far. And he's got a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Montero. Lindquist, the guy at second, Hill over at first. And 2 outs. This one lined back toward the middle, off the glove of Hawkins. Picks it up, fires to first. They still got him. The inning comes to an end. The Diamondbacks get 2 on, leave 2 on base. 7th inning stretch time here in Milwaukee. Brewers still on top. the bottom of the 7th inning. Diamondbacks going back to their bullpen. Bring in Micah Owings to take over for Brian Shaw. As they roll out the barrel here, Joe, I know you're a big fan of this.
Well, I was just dancing with Joe, our booth assistant here. We were doing a little polka thing. Polka Joe, they call him.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah.
You guys are incredible together. Owings takes over here. Pitching 33 games this year with the D-backs. 63 innings, 56 hits allowed, 44 strikeouts, and 23 walks. A 3.57 earned run average.
That's a pretty good record, 8-0. He did make 4 starts, too, as well as his work out of the bullpen. And as a guy out of the pen, he's started to cut back on his pitching repertoire. He's mostly fastball slider guy with his fastball in the upper 80s, low 90s, and a lot of cutters.
Here in the 7th, he'll face Hairston, Bencourt, and Lucroy. Mentioned that 5-run 6th inning for Milwaukee. Daniel Hudson was charged with 5 runs, all 5 earned. Brad Ziegler did not record an out. Faced 6 batters, gave up 4 runs, 4 earned on 3 hits. Issued 2 walks, 1 was intentional. Hairston, who doubled and got things started for Milwaukee in the 6th inning, takes outside. He's had a 2-for-3 game. A single, a double, and a fly ball to left. He's also scored a run. This one hit in the air to right. Upton going back. He'll make the catch for the first out. Coming up next on TBS, it's Game 2. The Cardinals and Phillies. Game 2, Cardinals Phillies next on TBS, followed by Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan.
What a performance by Halladay yesterday after giving up that 3-run homer to Berkman in the first. Gave up 1 more hit after that. And set down the last 21 in a row. He didn't even do that during his no-hitter last year in his first game of the division series.
I read correctly that the last guy in a postseason game to retire 21 in a row was Don Larson in that perfect game.
Yeah.
The 1 pitch to Bencourt is inside. The Brewers shortstop 0-for-2. Drew a walk in that 6th inning. That was the first batter that Ziegler faced, and eventually came around to score. 1-1 pitch. Outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Chris Carpenter will be working on short rest for the Cardinals. Cliff Lee had a tune-up last Monday in Atlanta. 6 innings.
Bencourt gets this one out to shallow center field. Young broke back, now comes in. 2 outs. That'll bring up Jonathan Lucroy. Catcher with 2 outs here in the 7th.
That might have been the biggest play of the 5-run 6th inning, too, was his squeeze bunt. Not so much that it broke the Diamondbacks back, but the fact that Ziegler tried to throw the runner out at the plate, threw it away, and that really got the inning going instead of taking the out. Here it is again. Hairston coming in from third, a safety squeeze, and they had no plate, literally no plate at the plate, and didn't get the out at first, which they were going to have to concede the run, but that would have only been 1 run. Gave the Brewers an extra out to work with.
And it's interesting how that inning worked out for Ziegler after he walked Bencourt. First pitch, the squeeze was on, an intentional walk. Corey Hart, first pitch swinging, base hit. Niger Morgan swinging first pitch. Then Ryan Braun.
It really dominoed on Ziegler after the balk. He was rattled.
1-2 pitch is upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Casey McGee has come out to the on-deck circle. Casey with a down year this year offensively. This one lifted foul and out of play. Just peeking ahead to Tuesday's Game 3 in Phoenix. Josh Coleman going for the Diamondbacks. Sean Markham going for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Got a rookie right there pitching in what is going to be a huge game, depending on the outcome of this one, certainly. And if the Diamondbacks can't rally, he's going to have to try and extend their season.
LaCroix goes down swinging a 1-2-3 inning from Micah Owing. 7 complete. Milwaukee still up. MLB on deck presented by Chrysler. Kicks off at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then American League Division Series Game 3. Texas down at St. Petersburg to take on the Rays. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern. Then it's Game 3. Yankees and Tigers from Comerica Park. 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then Inside MLB presented by Captain Morgan. At midnight, you see K-Rod's coming to the game. Francisco Rodriguez will start this 8th inning with Milwaukee up by the score of 9-4.
Boy, has he pitched great since the Brewers got him from the Mets. He's been in 31 games for them and went 4-0 with a 1.86 ERA. Did not allow a run in any of his last 16 outings.
The fastball misses outside.
Doesn't throw quite as hard as he used to. His fastball in the 88 to 92 range, but he's got a nice kind of slurvy curveball and a good changeup.
Goldschmidt fouls it off to the right, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
This kid's quite a find. If you missed it, he homered his first at bat, leading off the second off Greinke. After Kirk Gibson said he was just playing a hunch tonight, having this kid play instead of Overbay. Strikes out a lot, can cut down on his strikeouts. He's going to be a force.
just missed off the plate. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
The good thing about Goldschmidt is that even with his strikeouts, he's still hit for a high average in the minor leagues. 306 this year in Double-A.
They strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got down with the breaking ball. Looked like Rodriguez stumbled there as he delivered that pitch. A full count.
We're talking about some defining moments during the season for Ron Renicky in his first year as a manager of this club, and one of them involved K-Rod when he first came over here. And Ron Renicky told us the first thing he said to the manager was, "I'm a closer," which, well, everybody knew that, but the Brewers had a closer and have a closer in John Axford. There he is, and he was on a string even at that time of 20-some in a row without a blown save. And one of the things Renicky did was convince Rodriguez that it was important to him, especially if he's going to become a free agent, that he still approach it as an 8th-inning closer and show that he's willing to take on this role and do a good job and accept it willingly, and he has.
He's had a major league save record with 62 in 2008 for the Angels.
There was some talk in the press about a week or so ago about him being unhappy, but really Ron Renicky said it's nothing new. It's stuff we've talked about since he got here, and we continue to communicate, so it just came out, but nothing that we didn't already know.
Chris Young looks at his strike. The gist of that conversation essentially was go out and be a lockdown 8th-inning guy, and people will know of your past and your closing history. You're still going to be able to get your money if you hit the market. Will it show up in the numbers as far as saves? No, but stuff and all the like, it'll show up as Young breaks his bat and looks one down the left field line for a base hit. Ron cuts it off. Goldschmidt advances into scoring position. So 2 on with nobody out here in the 8th for the Diamondbacks.
You got those 2 walks in the 7th, had their guys up. They wanted Upton and Montero. And some good defense by the Brewers spoiled it with Upton driving one deep to right that Hart caught. And then the line drive off the glove of Hawkins that he was able to recover and throw out Montero. But now 2 on, nobody out.
Here's Ryan Roberts, who's had a multi-hit game, a double and a single. Going to come back into the mound in the 6th inning. The 1 ball, no strike count.
They love Roberts in Arizona. They don't call him Batman. They call him Tatman.
That he is. Rodriguez falls behind at 2 balls and no strikes.
I was just pleased to learn that that tattoo on his neck is not a bullseye. I don't think that would be a good thing as a hitter.
John Roush, the reliever for the Toronto Blue Jays, has one. Former Diamondback as well. Right around the neck area too, if I remember correctly. A 19-homer season for Roberts. The 2-0. Takes a strike, 2-1.
Don Baylor was telling me about him and what a season he's had in light of the fact that he had to really work hard to make the club out of spring training. He said he hit about 500 in spring training to make the club and then parlayed that into a real good season.
Two-one pitch. Fouls this one back, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Roberts had a pretty good season with the Diamondbacks in 09, hit 279. Admittedly, went into spring training last year. A little cocky, thinking perhaps he had done enough the previous year to earn a job. Came out of spring training, started with Reno, a AAA team. Eventually got into 36 games, struggled. That's why he busted his tail in the offseason. Been in the big leagues all season. The 2-2. Got him swinging. Off-speed pitch gets Roberts. There's out number 1.
Yeah, and a high off-speed pitch. Straight changeup at the top of the zone, and he missed it. For Francisco Rodriguez, his advanced scouting report with the Mets, 2-1 in terms of fastball to off speed, and some high batting averages against him on the fastball. And look at that number, off-speed pitches with increased number of throwing that change-up and slow curve. Just a 113 average against him in the off-speed stuff since he joined Milwaukee.
Ronald Parra pulls one to the right side. Fielder has it, goes to second. They're not going to get the double play, but they get the second out. Young is retired, and Parra reaches on the fielder's choice.
Nice play here by Prince Fielder because he took his time, set his feet, made sure that he picked up Betancourt before he just turned and fired.
So 2 outs, runners at the corners for the Diamondbacks. And pinch hitter coming up, Jeff Blum. .23 games for Blum this year, .224 average, a couple of home runs, 10 runs batted in. Talk over the scouting report.
I think they've got a pretty good book on Jeff Blum. They've seen him with several different ball clubs in the National League,
especially the Astros in their own division.
Like most left-handed hitters, good low ball hitter.
So Blum steps in. He's got Paul Goldschmidt standing at third base. Gerardo Parra up first. Arizona with 10 hits in this game, 12 by Milwaukee. It was a 4-4 tie going into the bottom of the 6th inning, but the Brewers put 5 on the board to take a 9-4 lead. First pitch. Blum takes his strike on the outside corner.
Blum missed a lot of the year with a bad knee and a fractured finger. Only played in 23 games.
1 for 7 as a pinch hitter. Off-speed pitch down low. The count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Blum in his career as a pinch hitter, a .247 average with 1 home run and 35 runs batted in. Off-speed pitch low. 2 balls and a strike. Both teams traveling after the game down to Phoenix. Workout day tomorrow before Game 3 on Tuesday. It's just been announced that Game 3 of this series will be played at 6:30 local time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on TNT. The 2-1. He went around. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Another off-speed pitch. Rodriguez has such a wild delivery, a high leg kick. Looks like he's practically trying to jump at you when he throws a baseball. And then when the off-speed pitch comes floating out of his hand, it's hard to stay back. You can't buy the delivery. You got to wait the best you can to try to see the ball out of his hand.
Called strike 3. Down goes Plum. The top of the 8th comes to an end with Milwaukee still leading it. Tomorrow, Conan's got Jack McBrayer. Don't miss it, Conan, tomorrow after MLB postseason only on TBS. Beautiful sight outside Miller Park. 9-4 Milwaukee. Bottom of the 8th inning. David Hernandez comes on for the Arizona Diamondbacks to face pinch hitter Casey McGee. The fastball is upstairs on McGee. That's 1 ball, no strikes.
What a pickup this guy was from Baltimore in the Mark Reynolds deal. Not only has he done a good job in the 8th inning, but also served as the closer when J.J. Putz was on the DL for a time.
This one lifted in the air behind the plate. Actually up the first base line a little bit. Montero makes the catch. McGee is retired for the first out.
This guy throws hard. He's in the upper 90s. Sometimes has a little bit of a hard time getting his fastball down. If he can keep it down into the zone, tough to hit, and a little bit of a swervy type slider.
A chance to talk with Kevin Towers, the general manager of the Diamondbacks, yesterday, and asked him specifically about Hernandez and J.J. Putz, and I asked him, how did you arrive on David Hernandez when you decided to make the deal and send Mark Reynolds to the Baltimore Orioles? He said, well, he likened him quite a bit to when he was the general manager of the Padres and scouted Heath Bell. Very similar numbers as starters down in the minor leagues. Didn't pan out, but he liked everything about it. Kind of reminded him quite a bit of Bell. I figured, you know what, I think I can use him, and he could transition to the National League and be a huge part of this bullpen. And he certainly has done that. And Kevin, obviously, a guy that's a huge proponent of building the bullpen, especially the back end of that pen.
Well, this is a good pickup, and anytime a guy's got this kind of arm, you're willing to take a chance on him. There's what he calls a slider, but it's a little bit of a slurvy, a little in between a slider and a curve. But there's no doubt about his arm. He's got a big arm, 95, 96, sometimes 98.
Hart lifts this one out toward left field. A lot of topspin on it. It'll stay in the yard as Parra makes the catch for out number 2. There's the general manager. Taking over. You got to give credit too to Jerry Dipoto, who was the interim general manager prior to Kevin. Jerry made the deal for Daniel Hudson. Traded Dan Herron to the Angels. Got Joe Saunders plus several minor league pitchers. And of course, a lot of these players around because of the Josh Byrne era as the general manager, is now currently with the San Diego Padres.
Well, for them to bounce back from the season they had last year, losing over 90 games, and then this year winning 94 games, it's quite a turnaround.
Morgan looks at the fastball up.
And it was I'm sure, a good advantage for Kirk Gibson to be able to watch this club play the last couple of months of the season last year to see what changes he might want to implement for the beginning of this season.
Morgan loops one foul down the left field line. Parra giving chase. He'll run out of room.
And I don't know if we've given enough credit, not only to Kirk, but his whole staff, Victor.
Yeah.
Because these guys, all veteran guys with wonderful resumes. Alan Trammell, Charles Nagy, Don Baylor, Matt Williams. You certainly don't want to run afoul of those guys as a player, that's for sure.
Eric Young, the first base coach. You don't see that too often, that's for sure. Big name guys as Morgan slaps it foul. It's still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. But when you talk about these big name guys, if Baylor, Trammell having been big league managers in today's game, because of the money that these players earn today, a lot of these guys, after they're done playing, don't necessarily want to get into coaching, don't want to be around the game that much. It says a lot about the Diamondbacks to be able to keep those guys, bring them in, keep them. And if you're a young player, what are you going to do when you've got veteran guys with big names sitting there telling you this is how we're going to do things? You're not going to get too much of an argument.
Well, and there's a lot of players that might be interested in managing, but they don't want to do the apprenticeship. They don't want to have to go back to the minor leagues and learn how to run a game.
Morgan grounds one over to second base. Aaron Hill has it. And Hernandez has himself a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the ninth. Diamondbacks. The face Axford, we believe, down 9-4. two down, 2 games to none in this NLDS. And Joe, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, there's not a good history there, and it's been 8 years since anybody's even done that. And that last time was Red Sox against the Oakland A's.
Diamondbacks to face the closer for Milwaukee, John Axford, who pitched yesterday through 14 pitches yesterday and picking up the save. Delivers outside of Willie Bloomquist to start the ninth.
He made a comment to me between innings as you see some other defensive changes for the Brewers. Carlos Gomez in center, Andrew Morgan to move over to right. But it was a good point you made. I'll get to you after this pitch. 1-1. But what you said, Victor, and it was a good comment, was that Ron Renicky is not messing around. 5-run lead. He wants this win. Got a day off tomorrow. And to Rodriguez and Axford now to finish it up.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bloomquist 0 for 3. Picked up a walk and stole a base in the 7th. The Diamondbacks have base runners in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings, but they've left 5 guys on base. Takashi Saito is the pitcher of record for Milwaukee. Milwaukee scoring. There's 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Axford obviously tired from his work yesterday. That was only 97.
With 1 inning, 1 strikeout, everything else zeros yesterday. 2-2. Bloomquist fouls it back.
Well, he had that great at bat against LaTroy Hawkins. How many pitches?
13.
13. And eventually drew a walk. He was behind in the count. 0-2, and eventually drew the walk. It was one of the better at bats of the night for something that wasn't quite as exciting as some of the others.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Bloomquist. There's out number 1.
At the top of the zone. Tough to get on top of that pitch. Not bad for a guy who was selling cell phones just a couple of years ago, huh?
Aaron Hill, the batter, 3 for 3. 3 singles, a run scored, and a walk. On base 4 times today. Zach Greinke got the start with 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, all earned on 8 hits, allowing 3 home runs for the first time this year. Daniel Hudson pitched 5 1/3 for the D-backs. 6 strikeouts, no walks, 5 runs, all earned on 9 hits. Upstairs, it's 2 balls and no strikes.
You mentioned the men they've left on base, but they do have 10 hits, and they had 4 runs through 5 innings thanks to 3 home runs. Bullpen's put the clamps on him.
A 3 ball, no strike count. Saito, Hawkins, Rodriguez, and now Axford. On the heels of what Greinke did in his first 5 innings. Fastball location, the biggest issue for Greinke in this one. There's a 4-pitch walk. So man on for Justin Upton with 1 out here in the ninth. Coming up next on TBS, it's game 2 of the Cardinals and Phillies. Cardinals and Phillies next on TBS, followed by Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan.
Again, what a pitching matchup. Carpenter and Lee, former Cy Young winners.
Fastball missing outside. So it's 5 line ones for Axford. Lucroy's going to go out there and talk things over.
You know, Lucroy does a good job on this, and it's not the first time tonight he's been out there to give a little slap on the back. He did that a couple of times with Greinke, did it with LaTroy Hawkins. Just a little reminder that you've got 5 runs to play with here. Got a big lead in the 9th. You got 1 out. Come after these guys.
Evens it down, and the ball with a strike. Upton today 1 for 4. 2-run shot in the 5th inning off Greinke. At that point, tying the game up at 4 apiece. Two for 8 in the series. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Looped out towards center. Carlos Gomez is there. 2 outs. Hill heads back to first. We go to Atlanta and Matt Wiley. Thanks a lot, Matt. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Diamondbacks with a man at first, and here's Miguel Montero. Diamondbacks catcher looks at a fastball high. He's had an 0 for 4 game. And this has been a raucous crowd the first 2 games of this DS. 44,122 yesterday. 44,066 here this afternoon. Anticipating a little history for Milwaukee. The Brewers have never led 2 games to none in a postseason series.
Only 2 hits so far out of the numbers 3 and 4 spots for the Diamondbacks. They're 2 for 17, and both hits have come from Upton, including his homer tonight.
Montero fouls one off to the left. Diamondbacks down to the last strike.
When they get back home in front of their own fans, they're going to need this guy in the bottom part of the order to kind of pick it up. That high fastball out of the zone will shut down towels faster than anything I've ever seen.
I'm sitting here laughing. I hear a collective groan. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. The pitch. Pulled foul.
What a weekend. Brewers trying to go up 2 games to none. The Badgers win. The Packers win.
2-2 upstairs. Guy from Marquette University wins the marathon today.
He'll be dancing by the lake tonight.
Packers took care of the Broncos 45-23. Here comes a 3-2. Montero fouls it back.
Still battling. And for a Kirk Gibson-led team, you know that's going to happen, and you know it's going to be that way when they come home and start Tuesday night at Chase Field.
Another payoff pitch. Foul off the left. This one will land in the seats. Hairston giving it a look. .22 pitches thrown by Axford now. They strike out, a walk, and a fly ball to center. Another 3-2, and he walked him. So 2 walks in the inning for Axford.
This was not on the ledger for Ron Renicky. He wanted a quick, easy inning. Mow him down, get it over with, and get on the plane. But 23 pitches and only 12 strikes so far for Axford.
Paul Goldschmidt back in the second inning did this.
Launched it out into the Diamondbacks bullpen. His first at bat the postseason. And it was a long one.
1 for 3 game for Goldschmidt, getting to start at first base. Home run, a strikeout, a ground out to third, and he drew a walk leading off the 8th inning.
Funny how he could do that again and suddenly make things a little more nervous around here.
Chris Young on deck. Hill at second, Montero at first. The fastball catches the outside corner for a strike. Breaking ball got the corner. 0-2. So once again, the Diamondbacks down to the last strike. Swing and a miss. Lucroy applies the tag, and the Brewers have taken a 2-0 lead in the National League Division Series against the Diamondbacks. Milwaukee wins it 9-4, taking that 2-0 lead. Coming up next, it's game 2 between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Philadelphia Phillies. Chris Carpenter against Cliff Lee. Following a quick break, we'll send it to Dick Stockton in Philadelphia with Bob Brenly.